Hello and welcome back to this week's video. This week's video is part of the Writers Not Writing tag series, and I was tagged by Emma Bennett. Basically there are 10 questions and it's all about writing and my writing life. So let's get into it, shall we? So question 1 says, do you have a day job? Yes, I do. I'm a supply teacher by day, or a substitute teacher for my American friends. So yeah, I don't get much time for writing during the week. I try to do some writing in the evenings, but most of my writing and writing related things are done at the weekend. So yeah, I do have a day job. Am I a reader? Yes, I have always been a reader. I don't actually know what my life would be like if I didn't read. And when I have a day, or I'm in a slump at the moment, so if like now I kind of struggle with not reading, it's like there's a piece of me missing. It's a very strange feeling. But yeah, I've always been a reader. I started with Miffy books. I don't know if anyone remembers Miffy. It was like a little cartoon rabbit, and I don't see those books much anymore, but when I do, I always have like a bit of nostalgia. But then I went on to books like The Littlest Vampire. Again, another series of books that was awesome, but I don't really see them anymore. And when I do, they've kind of changed it a little bit, so it's not quite the same as the original. And then I went on to point horror books, Christopher Pike books. Yeah, and I would read those books to my mum before I went to bed. So yeah, I've always been a big reader. Question 3. What are my other hobbies? That's really hard because I don't necessarily have a lot of time for hobbies, only because if I'm not working, I'm writing. But when I do get a chance to do other things, I like to travel. I like to go to historical places, historical sites. Castles are a particular favourite of mine. I like learning, so places like going to, we're got a trip coming up where we're going to go and visit Jane Austen's house, so that'll be quite a nice trip. I've been there before, but it's nice to go back again. I like learning things like about aromatherapy and crystals and things like that. I enjoy hiking, although I can't do that so much anymore because I have a medical condition with my legs that sort of prevent me from walking too far. But yeah, it's all those kind of things. Reading, obviously. I do like to binge watch a few shows every now and then. Question 4. Tea or coffee? Well, as a Brit, you're kind of going to probably be expecting me to say tea. There was a time when I would have said neither, but I know I am going to say tea this time, but not in the traditional sense of tea. Because I don't like normal tea that you put like milk and sugars in and stuff like that. I prefer, there's a certain brand of tea called buttermint tea that I really, really enjoy, and I think it's Twinings that make it. It's like a fruit flavoured kind of tea, and it's a vanilla-y flavoured thing. It tastes like Murray mints. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I do also enjoy a peppermint tea as well. So yeah, they're the only two teas I really drink, and I cannot drink coffee. I love the smell of coffee, but I can't drink it because it brings on migraines. So question 5. What am I passionate about? Well, I'm passionate about a lot of things. One of the things that I'm most passionate about is teaching children that reading is a good thing, that you can open a book and you can go anywhere. The amount of children that I come across who just think the world exists on an iPad shocks me sometimes, and the idea of them picking up a book for 15 minutes to read, just they can't. And I'm just really passionate to try and get them to read as many books and as widely as possible, so that they can see that they don't just have to read the boring books that they have to read in school. They can read other books as well. I'm also passionate in getting children to believe that they can write a good story as well, because sometimes they just have no interest in that, and they can start anywhere with a story. They can start from a film, from a TV show. They can include their favourite football player if they want, and getting them to feel encouraged about that. I'm very passionate about that. I'm also passionate about my family, my pets, yeah, just lots of different things. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I have Sienna, who is a Greyhound Saluki cross. I love taking her on walks. It doesn't happen so much at the moment. She does not like, she's not a winter dog, let's put it that way. I tried to take her out in the winter and we literally got about like a couple of meters down the road and she refused. Like a stubborn teenager, she would not go any further. So I had to turn back and bring her back. But now that the summer's here and the spring is here, we are going to go out on more walks. And then there's Susan. Sue, who is the grumpiest cat in the world. She's my lovely black cat. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see lots of pictures of both of them. Sue was also the inspiration for Luna in my Appleford series. Question 7. What was your dream job as a child? Well, number 1, I always wanted to be a writer, but it was always tough to get into. So, you know, you have to have other options. One of my options was vet. I love animals, always have loved animals, and the idea of helping animals when they are sick really spoke to me. So I went, when you're like 16 or so in the UK, you go for like a bit of work experience. So I went to my local vet to have a bit of work experience. I stood in on an operation and fainted. So that was not something I could do. Yeah, I didn't have the stomach to be a vet, which is a shame because I would love to, but there you go. Maybe one day working with animals is in my future in a different capacity, but certainly not being a vet. Question 8. If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would it be? Well, first of all, if it was in this country, it would be the Lake District. I love the Lake District. You know that because I've written a series of books based in the Lake District. I also love Scotland. Anywhere where there's hills, mountains, lots of countryside, lots of open space. That's for me. But if it was outside the UK, it would definitely be Norway, number 1. The history there, I would just love. And again, you've got all the fjords, you've got the open space, you've got the countryside. The climate's not too dissimilar from the UK. I wouldn't live anywhere hot. America, Australia, nice places to visit, nice places to appreciate for their beauty, but the temperatures there I would struggle. I'm not someone who enjoys hot climates at all. Question 9. Do you speak any foreign languages? No. Obviously, when you go through school, you learn a bit of French and a bit of German. But when I settled on French. You had to choose for GCSEs what you wanted to do, French or German. I chose French because I'd been doing that since I was 11 and I felt more comfortable with that. Wasn't very good at it, and actually my French teacher actually described me as the most Essex sounding French person that she'd ever heard, like French speaker that she'd ever heard. So question 10, what music would we find in your collection? Oh, that I think my music has often been described as a bit eclectic. I've got everything from pop, 90s pop to country. I started out, my favourite bands when I was a teenager were the Irish ones. So Boyzone, Westlife, The Cause, they were all my favourites, still are my favourites. I also enjoy the Shires now. Now that I'm older, I've kind of gone into sort of like poppy country music. So Shania Twain, Carrie Underwood, the Shires. I really enjoy Kelly Clarkson. She's another one of my favourites. And yeah, just random pop songs from the 90s. Yeah, just anything really. I'm not into things like rock, heavy rock, or I'm not into like I don't know what you'd call it, grunge or garage or anything like that. I don't like rap or jazz or anything like that. I do enjoy classical from time to time. I have a soft spot for the 1995 Pride and Prejudice soundtrack. Me and my mum both enjoy that. But we both enjoy the 1995 Pride and Prejudice. It's the best version and the music reflected that. So those are my 10 questions. So now I've come to tagging. So I'm going to tag J.M. Selly, Eloise Barr and S.D. Houston. And I can't wait to see their videos. I will leave the playlist for the rest of the videos on this Writers Not Writing playlist underneath in the description box. And I'm going to head over there and watch some of their videos. So have a good week and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Bye.